that same party. So we did interview, forgive me, over the past week, 17 applicants. 16 were in person, 1 was by phone. And I will tell you, in many ways, it was a horse race to find that right individual, the person that has that right discernment, the right skill set, that presence of mind that we all look for when we look for a justice. However, one person was able to set themselves apart from the crowd, and that individual, as we all know and have come to appreciate, is Keith Russell. Keith has brought that same level of discernment to the assessor's office. When that office was broken, he was able to restore integrity. He was able to restore character, and more, I think important, he was able to work with the employees there to make sure that everyone knew where they needed to go and how they were going to move forward. So it's with my great pleasure to nominate, to submit the name of Keith Russell for the next Justice of the Peace.
Mr. Chairman, I second that motion. Nomination.
I'm reluctant to support it. It's
bittersweet as it may be, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, and if I might, I was going to wait till we voted, but I'm hopeful that he's going to receive the nod from all of us. There's been words said that, why would you create a vacancy to only have to fill one? And I understand that. I get it. But I am not going to take a person with the right talent, the right individual for this job and say, because we have more work to do in creating a vacancy, that he should not be selected. And with that, I think Mr. Tim Bonkoski, I thought Chukri was bad. Bonkoski is a very able person. And operationally speaking, it's been my understanding that in vacancies such as this, his position is oftentimes the one that would be play an acting role as the assessor. And it's my understanding that that will not be a problem. I know that we have people on the dais here going on vacations and whatnot, and Mr. Chair, I would respectfully submit that we postpone any type of appointment process till later in the summer, maybe even August, if you would be so inclined, or whatever your thought process is. You are the chair, but I don't want to rush to judgment, and someone's got some pretty big shoes to fill, and I just want to make sure that we go about it the right way.
Thank you. And I know you put a lot of effort into discerning all of the applicants, and there is a certain level of reliance we all place on when a vacancy occurs in a geographically centered region. It's in your district, and I appreciate it. But I will support your nomination. But I got to say, I think Keith has done such a fabulous job as the county assessor. And I say that as an elected official on the Board of Supervisors, and as really somebody that's been involved in the real estate business for all of my adult life. I think that's one of the most perplexing areas for the public, and that is understanding the assessment process. And I think you brought a lot of clarity to it. You brought a lot of new technology to bear in some of these mass appraisal systems, and I know we have a long way to go with even going into the next generation of that. So, it's I think one of the best run offices in the country, and that's why I said I was hesitant to support this, Keith. I think you've got a lot to be proud of what your accomplishments were, and I question your sanity on wanting to go sit in the ranks of the Justice of the Peace. I've sat in on a couple of hearings, and it's going to be all over the map. But I think you're up to the challenge, and with that, I would ask for any of the comments or a vote. Supervisor Wilcox.
I'll be proud to support this motion. It is bittersweet. I think Denny and yourself got it right. I have really enjoyed Mr. Russell's tenure. We have a lot of people who call us, and a simple a question sometimes can be answered and satisfy a person, or a complicated one. And every time I've called Mr. Russell or his office, they have just been outstanding at helping me. Particularly when I had a horrible issue in Guadalupe, the whole town was affected, And I want to thank you personally for just the humane way you handled it and the just way you handled it. So it is very bittersweet. And I really want to commend too my fellow colleague, Steve Chugri, for taking this and just being so thorough. The hardest thing in the world, and I've had to do it several times, is appoint a JP, a constable, in your area, because they are coveted seats. They're very, very good positions, because you're the people's court, and you have to find somebody who will understand and have empathy and sympathy, but justice also. And you couldn't have found a better person, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. Any other comments?
Sure. Just one. I can't let Mr. Chupri say he made a good appointment in my seat, and I have to agree with him. He made a very good appointment. But I just wanted to thank you. I'm going to support the nomination too, and I just wanted to thank Mr. Russell. It's like I hardly knew you 6 weeks, but I do appreciate the education he gave me about the assessor's office. I know that it's going to be in great and capable hands, because your sidekick there has done a lot of work with me and education. So thank you for your service. I have a feeling in the assessor's office and turning it around, and I know your department has some more work to do. So
Thank you, Glenn. Those in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I have a
Congratulations.
question. Maybe we should clap one person.
Okay.
Statutorily, are we allowed to wait that long before we appoint? I just,
I think in the meantime, we've got some time to,
okay, to look at
well, I don't want to put Dave, I already put him on the spot enough today, so.
Just very briefly, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I do want to express my appreciation to each and every one of you. It has been a real honor to be able to serve in one capacity, and now to look to another opportunity to be of service in a different capacity. I have learned from each one of you, and I need to point out Mr. Manos. I appreciate his counsel, his support and advice. Fran McCarroll and all of the other wonderful people that serve this county. I think the one real hidden secret from the public about the county is the quality and the amount of effort that people put in on their behalf. It's fascinating to get to peek under those covers and see how many wonderful people participate in the process here. It's wonderful to be part of the Maricopa County family. Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. And I've said it to you privately, but I'll say it publicly. During I think, the very difficult years, and we're hearing some of the, I don't know if it's all, some of it a little misguided or earlier today, but during some of the very difficult years, and I think we had complete meltdown here going on at the county, and I think some very rogue individuals in the sheriff's office and the county attorney and in his office. Keith, as an elected official, you stayed in the mix and became engaged, I think, in a way that helped keep this county together. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next item on the agenda, we